Internet. After 46 seasons, I think it's time I admit, I've never eaten at Applebee's. Why do I feel so embarrassed? I guess this is why I just can't relate to the Applebee's family visit. It just doesn't hit the same. Wait, sorry, that wasn't the family visit episode? Yeah, anyway, like the epitome of had me in the first half, not gonna lie, except in reverse and the opposite, Survivor 46 is done and over with and in the books, and like a therapy session with the Nami tribe, we have a lot to unpack. Was the season good, bad, or somewhere in between? Top 5 baby, or one of the worst? Full spoilers ahead for every episode from the premiere to the finale, so if you haven't seen it, go watch it. And because of the nature of the show, I think most of you have already seen the season. This is not going to be a recommendation video, it's a summation video of every rant, cry, and absurd blindside that occurred over the past 13 episodes, and I'm not really interested in spoiling it for you. If you haven't seen it, that is unless you want to spoil yourself, like Liz at Applebee's on a Wednesday. We were all Liz this season. I was apprehensive about waltzing into Survivor 46 after what we just got with 45. Personally, I liked 45 quite a bit. I thought it had a good cast, some great gameplay, some fantastic blindsides, a ton of character moments all around, and was the best season of the modern era thus far. It had a solid beginning, middle, and end, the narrative was cohesive, and the 90-minute episodes told it all quite well. All too well. Like Liz after her first bowel movement, I was satisfied. Peachy, even. For a minute, I let the clouds part, and I kind of felt good about where Survivor was going, as the latest era seemed to be improving as we trekked further into the 40s. But I also worried about 46, because at some point a season has to come along and just not deliver the goods to the same degree as what came before. And when we started our engines for 46, and were given another season of 90-minute episodes each week, and two 2-hour episodes out of the gate, that being the premiere and episode 2. 4 hours of Survivor in 2 episodes. These producers have to be cooking up something spicy, right? Survivor premieres are usually kinda tame and mostly decent, but they're nothing really to write home about, save for like maybe all-star seasons. That being said, if you can just give us one great moment or just tiny sliver of a story arc to hang our buff on, a lot of us Survivor fans will be satisfied for a week. And more than anything else, the premiere of season 46 gave us the answer to one of the longest mysteries in Survivor lore. See, before season 41 began, we were told a monster was on the island. Was it Jeff? Was it Jeff's haircut? Was it the game? No, it wasn't any of them. It took 5 seasons later to finally reveal the monster all along was none other than a 22-year-old slot machine salesman by the name of Jelinski.
Jeff preaches about the monster in this game. Jelinski is the monster.
The 1-episode story arc that was the rise and fall and continuous free fall of the first boot was a legend in the making. Between breaking the hourglass to giving up at just about everything to folding like a lawn chair in front of Maria, which to be fair, I probably would too, to having Jeff Probst call him out at Tribal and then get blindsided, Jelinski was the first boot who kept on giving. And what's more, the fanbase memed the hell out of him and he went with it, and the players and Jeff himself even went with it on the island deep into the season. Who saw this coming? It was like the Edge of Extinction return, but it was only Jelinski on it, and he still somehow failed to get back into the game. They talked about this guy at Tribal in the challenges, and they even named episode 7 after him. First boots. Take notes. If you're going to go out first, make it count. Hopefully to several. But that is just the tip of the Titanic that was Yanu beginning their train wreck tribe status. This has now happened in a handful of recent seasons, from 41 to 44 to 45 to now 46. 3 in a row. The 3-tribe format that we have seen on every modern era season is leading to disaster tribes again and again. Personally, I think that the 3-tribe format should just get retired for a bit and only be brought out every, several seasons or so. As Professor Christian Ubicki from David vs. Goliath once pointed out, 3 tribes limit the number of cross-pollination between the tribes. It limits the number of relationships that could form, and it seems to make the producers allergic to swaps. I don't know about you, but I am feeling like swaps are great for the recipe of any season of the show, and we didn't get one on 46. Instead, we got 4 straight episodes of Yanu failing and taking up a lot of screen time, especially given that the first 2 episodes were 2 hours each, we got 7 hours of this purple screen time eating disaster group going to tribal over and over and over, and there really wasn't much of a shakeup in the game at all. The players at the bottom were all voted out. This is a recurring trend for 3 tribes because there just aren't many possibilities for what can happen or will happen when the numbers are so small. And then you factor in players losing a vote, and while it can feel intimate and get the audience to know the tribe better, it also means that we're losing time with 2/3 of the rest of the cast every single week. And for 7 hours, that is a long time to never see the Siga or Nami players do much of anything of impact. I think this formula hurt season 46 more than the previous seasons, given it's just been this repetitive pattern. And in a way, the 90-minute or 2-hour episodes only exacerbated a weird vibe I was getting in the first 4 episodes of the season, where it kind of felt like not much was happening. For the first 2 episodes, I was amused by Banu and his wild antics, and by episode 3, I was starting to get a little drained, but I was also still somewhat entertained. At first, I was living for how he was pleading to God for a miracle, and then somehow Randon was smote and medevaced from the game, sparing Banu for another episode. What an absurd storyline. And the producers knew what they were doing. They fully leaned into this. It's giving Coach in his Tai Chi, Philip in his pink underwear, Debbie and her push-ups, but, well, kind of the opposite. The man was so positive, it almost felt toxic, and to then have Randon get removed and Banu be in a state of glee? It's not lost on me that Be Kind is printed on his shirts, and I was both bemused and waiting for something else to happen in this season besides Banu. Randon had a fun storyline for 3 episodes where he went against Venus and then turned around, nearly found the idol, and began to work with Venus. I thought it was the start of something great, and then it fizzled out as quickly as it appeared. The Nami tribe weren't getting along, and it felt like the season was gearing up for some confrontations, but the tricky part for 46 was that for these 7 hours, it wasn't going anywhere. Siga was the vibe tribe, they all mostly just got along, and it really took until episode 4 or 5 for them to get a storyline that was at all memorable. Look, I'm gonna reason with you. I love Taylor Swift, I've referenced her a bunch, especially in my Karma video, but I was about ready to break my favorite toy if it didn't start giving me something to chew on besides just a lot of fluff content. I hate it here. Probst, I am down bad for 2 tribes. Yes, I will be there for season 47 in its 3-tribe format, but it will be with a broken heart. And after episode 3, I had a sinking feeling. Episode 4, the infamous episode where the biggest betrayal of the season occurred. God turned on Banu.
If this is what you wanted, you shouldn't have put me on Survivor in the first place.
Help me, please.
No, wow. What a plan, man. All I want to do is win a million hearts.
And to be fair to God, this is also Banu turning on God's episode. There was just like no idol to be found. Banu lost his vote. He was crying in every scene, and he was a dead man begging Tiffany on his knees. And after several hours and 35 confessionals later, Banu finally exited stage left, pursued by Jeff. And okay, yeah, so after 4 episodes, not sounding like I'm at the highest of highs here, but after episode 4, I had a lifting feeling and a revelation. Survivor 46 was constipated with Banu. What would this season be like without him? As far as I knew, he was 46. Actually, I just checked on Wikipedia, he was 41. Damn, that would have been a wild coincidence. Episode 5 felt like a new premiere episode where Yanu didn't lose all of a sudden, Siga did, and the Vibe Tribe that we had been watching for 4 episodes now had to crack. Jem sent them on a wild goose chase for an idol that didn't exist, and it led to a fantastic blindside where Jem had an extra vote used against her just to bury her in the hole that she got her entire tribe to dig in for 2 whole episodes. It was poetic, a fantastic pre-merge swerve in the story where the one player on the tribe who was causing the most chaos was quickly taken out. Wait, is that a good thing? We had the dysfunctional trio of Q, Tiff, and Kenzie, the mermaid dragon, where Q foreshadows Kenzie taking him out and reaching the end. We had the Nami tribe and Hunter hacking challenges, getting annoyed with the camp songs. Meanwhile, Tevin and Soda were beefing with Venus, and snatching the idol out of her hands again and again is so extra. And little did we know at the time that Liz, that rich lady who barely said anything, would outlast all of them and be one of the biggest characters of the entire season. We also had a dynamic cross-tribal 6-person alliance that actually had some legs and importance to the game and the story going forward, and with Mariah on the outs and the Sigas appearing to be in a position similar to the Rebas from 45, I realized the pieces were set up for 46 to thrive in the post-merge in spite of the slow-rolling gameplay from Yanu and the Banu of it all. I mean, yes, I don't want to forget about the fact that Yanu did fake out Jess with a fake idol to get her to not play her shot in the dark, the only idol played the entire season, but you know, she too was dead in the water. This was the revelation that unlocked these previous 4 episodes for me, where hindsight was 2020, and in the case of season 46, it was 2024.
I'm like a cast iron skillet that's been like oiled up and seasoned, and they're like store-bought non-stick right now. Like that's where we're at. Giddy up, because we're about to play, baby.
The mergatory happens, half the tribe is immune. I still wish they would just merge like normal because everything here is just so extra and it's unnecessary, but hey, Mo gets taken out after Q decides she is the biggest threat because her favorite player was Aubrey, who, mind you, was last seen voted out in the pre-merge with an idol in her pocket. Hold up, I think I'm onto something here. If only Mo had an idol, I'm sure she would have played it, right? We get another double boot episode and we see Q turn on Tim after Tim decides to target Hunter, a player in the 6. Remember that Journey 6 alliance, Q, Tiff, Tim, Maria, Hunter, and Tevin? They had the numbers to crush the opposition, dominate the post-merge, and instead managed to get 4 of the 6 voted out in the next 4 episodes. It was like the season was at a fork in the road and had 2 choices before it. 1, a majority alliance steamrolls, makes the season boring, predictable, and 2, we get season 46. Because internet, let me tell ya, I thoroughly enjoyed the post-merge of season 46. Recency bias be damned, but hey, you know, look at 45, it might be one of my favorite post-merges of all time. From the Tim betrayal and Q turning on him, the soda blindside where Tevin and Venus and Liz were all clamoring to take credit, then the Tevin vote where Q scrambled at the last second to alert Hunter, which created the first massive live tribal in a while.
I guess we're at a live tribal, Jeff.
We get Hunter taken out in a revote after he didn't play his idol despite knowing that he needed to. He trusted the wrong people too much and was losing allies. Meanwhile, Tiffany had a massive target on her back because of Q and threatens to play her idol, but then doesn't. Genius. Someone held a known idol in this chaotic tribe and managed to escape with it in their pocket. Surely she can't keep getting away with it. But wait, out of nowhere, Liz is fuming because, well, I feel like I could probably go in a lot of directions with this one. In this case, she is mad because she wanted credit for the Tevin vote, but Q's antics overshadowed her. The audacity this man has to flaunt his skirt and talk about quitting, and he's just gonna sit there on the beach like it's no big deal? Who is this jackass?
Liz, who actually walked in the woods to see me. Bad idea, Liz. Ben was not found at all in hide and seek. Ben made a mistake.
Hunter's right here!
Oh my God! Hunter made a mistake. If I can't find you in hide and seek, I can't find you in this game. And that's what hide and seek showed me.
Q breaks down because he targets Tiff, because apparently targeting your closest ally is the new meta. Did I miss the memo? Who needs allies when you can just rely on pure chaos? Tiff's idol is leaked by Q, and now all sights are set on him for pissing off the entire tribe. Q just wanted to keep the 6 alive despite voting out Tim, although to be fair, Tim did target a member of the 6, but like, Hunter was a massive threat and exposed. Wait, what are we even talking about? Q becomes a smokescreen for the rest of the post-merge, and every vote thereafter revolves around voting him out, and then actually, whoops, not. Instead, blindsiding the real target, who just so happens to have an idol in their pocket. It was like the cast realized how juicy the Hunter vote was, and just said, let's just run it back. Q, yeah, get in position. Hold on, height. But wait, out of nowhere, Liz is fuming because, well, she didn't get picked for the Applebee's reward. Q wasn't standing for it. He was just ready to eat his favorite bourbon burger from Liz's favorite restaurant. What's the harm? I haven't felt the reward picks matter so much since forever. And then Maria makes them play rock, paper, scissors in the next episode. Just madness.
I've never seen a moment like this, ever. 46 seasons, it has never taken this long.
Liz and Q, rock, paper, scissors.
What? Don't be like, oh, I want to take care of the people who haven't eaten and then take the guy who just ate. My jaw, I'm still picking it up off the floor.
And then Q gets blindsided with an idol in his pocket where the producers showed us every vote. Not since Eric in Fans vs. Favorites season 16 have we had this play out. That's 30 seasons ago. Q, play the idol. For the love of Banu, someone on this season play the idol. Nope. The curse of Aubrey strikes again. It's poetry. You can't make this stuff up. 4 straight players voted out with idols in their pockets, a record previously set by the same season, broken twice. The most idols ever sent packing with 5, and heck, Randon was about to find one too before he was medevaced.
Jem, the tribe has spoken.
The dumbest move, put an idol in my pocket.
Hunter, the tribe has spoken.
Yes, they have. There it is, in all of its splendor.
Tiff, the tribe has spoken.
Thank you.
I broke my own Survivor rule. I should have played my idol.
Venus, the tribe has spoken.
I went home with an idol.
Q, the tribe has spoken.
They blindsided me with an idol in my pocket.
Yeah. For all the tapping of my feet in the pre-merge waiting for the payoff, I can say now season 46 is gonna hold up well on a binge. The gameplay may not have been top shelf stuff, but I was thoroughly entertained by this cast and their dramatics, their antics, their absurd behavior, and their inability to work together at all. Well, except for Charlie and Maria, the Malcolm and Denise of the season. Maria is the godmother, and just like Denise with Abby, Maria had her own Abby with Venus. And if you know me, you know I'm a fan of the troublemakers, and Venus feuding with what felt like half the cast was just people being jealous of her star power. Jealousy doesn't rock. Oh my god, Ben voted for Kenzie because of a brain fart. Ben trying to replicate a Natalie Anderson. Ben, you never pull a half Anderson. Yeah, I know a lot of Survivor heads out there are going to be thinking, oh, I wish the gameplay was a little bit tighter, a little bit more inspiring, something they could look back on and go, damn, that was impressive. But you know what? It was all over the place. And I think for me, to make all of this a little more satisfying, I need to emphasize that this gameplay, these narratives, they were entirely driven by the players themselves. They didn't need hourglasses and do or die or half the tribe losing their votes. Heck, even 45 had that going on. They were just being their messy selves, both on the island and online, and it made this season so much better when the players just got to play. They weren't stifled by twists and advantages. They weren't on rails and being told where to go by the producers. They were just hungry to win and to win food, and it all came to a head each and every episode. More than anything else I think I'll say in this review, 46 is a testament to the lasting power Survivor has without the need for gimmicks. Just straight up, that's it. That's the take. The game is so good on its own, and with 90-minute episodes and a great cast, you really don't need much else. You certainly don't need much else, Jeff. If you have an all-star season on your hands, let the cast shine. You don't need to worry about anything else. Heck, even the flashbacks to their off-island lives with their loved ones, 46 felt the most natural yet.
I had just seen Survivor, I fell in love with it. And I said, I want to build a challenge for the kids. This is what my house looks like. It's full of puzzles and stuff left over from previous challenges that I've done.
Oh, Hunter. Wow. Make me a Tempur-Pedic.
I've tried to show just how capable and strong Persian women are. It hurts on a social and personal level to see that no one's even trying to make an effort to acknowledge your existence.
And then the time to do it is eternally past. It was just nice to do something today that was just like, Dad's right here.
I started my career at 15 years old, just because I thought I was the only person I could ever count on.
Now, as for the finale and the ending, it was a lot. Probably need to look into how and when players can help each other in challenges. It can be a hack, don't get me wrong, but it can also feel arbitrary when it sometimes isn't allowed and other times just happens. Is this that rule of cool? I didn't really buy that Maria was never not getting voted out, and Liz seemingly was the biggest threat to win in her version of this season, and I enjoyed the end of her arc for about all it was worth. Ben's transcendental shreditation and final win after being so sleep deprived was a headbanger and scratcher, the encore he needed, and I was happy for him. I like Ben. Put him in Nicaragua or Gabon and he clears those juries. But, of course, I am burying the lead. Charlie loses to Kenzie in a close 5-3 vote, where he doesn't get Maria's vote when the bell tolls. I know a lot of fans are upset by this outcome, as I explained to my sister, who couldn't get over Charlie losing after Maria couldn't seem to reward her own game. They were pretty much in lockstep from day one. How does she not vote for him? How does she not vote for her own game? Yeah, Survivor is as Survivor does. After season 19 and 20, way back when, I was salty that Russell and Parvati didn't win. But then here I am 27 seasons later, talking about it for a living, because it is this unpredictable, seemingly hypocritical justification that totally flies. You kind of gotta wrap your head around the idea that it's all fair, it's all understood that moments like these are the lifeblood of the show. Well, not every fan is gonna get it, but that's also okay, because just as bitter as a juror might be, which is totally fair and understandable, people get hurt, emotions come into play, it's a lot of money, so too can the fans react in kind. Also fair and understandable. People are upset at betrayals because their favorite lost. You feel that hurt? Embrace it. Absorb it. Understand it. You will come out better for it in the end. It's just a TV show, right? You might be able to appreciate anything that happens in Survivor if you can. It is a part of the experience of Survivor. It's been this way since season 1, when America voted against Rich winning over Kelly at the reunion. Yeah, even going way back to the very beginning, the fans were bitter. And I think for me, it just makes the season better. It just cuts deeper. Charlie played a good game, but as it was written, Malcolm doesn't win in the end. Some curses just aren't meant to be reversed. Kenzie, Mermaid Dragon. For my household, we were really happy to see you win. You were liked enough, respected enough, and had a good story to win over a majority of the jury. You won when it mattered most. You played a social game through and through, and I just want to say congrats on the win. I hope all goes well with being a new mom, and yeah, you're right. You do have the bluest eyes when you cry.
I came out here, have the adventure of a lifetime, to make new friends, and to win $1 million.
Kenzie is somebody who cares about people, and I do believe that that's why she lasted so long in the game.
Kenzie's social game was brilliant. I don't think there's a single person who disliked her or didn't get along with her.
My game has been about adapting and knowing when to sit back and when to step up. I know my story's better than Charlie and Ben's. It's just about how I sell it.
Do my eyes look really blue? It's good. The shining light. If you're gonna cry, at least my eyes look good.
The winner of Survivor 46.
Oh yeah, and also before I forget, can we also just give the editors a little golf clap round of applause for being able to actually show how a social game can be stitched together to explain a win. If you go back and rewatch, you may notice that we saw her bond with a lot of the players over this season, and that's often what gets you the win in the end. I may have understood Kenzie's victory better than any other social game in the history of the show. And keep it up. Oh yeah, and oh boy, okay, and can we just like go back to a live reunion? The after show is just not it. I want to see these players rehash their experience today, not watch Charlie wallow with a sad slice of pizza while Ben fades in and out of consciousness. Jeff, you know you want Banu back for one last gag. There's a lot to celebrate here, so let's get you out on that stage with the roaring crowd and cheer one more time for the roller coaster that is every season of Survivor.
Congratulations, winner.
Right under the foot.
I started this review letting out a deep breath as a sign that I no longer had to hold it. While season 45 topped some of my charts, I can happily say 46 is right up there too. Where 45 was controlled chaos, 46 was uncontrolled, and as variety is the spice of life, I am more than pleased to have both options back on the menu. 47 has its work cut out for it. I would be quaking in my boots if I had to match even a fraction of the dizzying energy the 46 cast had in stow. Future players, I dare you to match Liz's love of Applebee's. Regardless of whether you've eaten a bourbon burger or not, let me know what you think about this season and where it might rank for you amongst the seasons you've seen. Top tier, bottom, or somewhere in the middle. For me, I'm slotting it right next to 45, really high up on my list, and I think that as time goes on and I separate myself from it on a rewatch, it's probably gonna hold up. A big thanks to my patrons for contributing to my future Applebee's Trust Fund. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to buy a Q skirt on your way out. Heck, maybe a Qmio while you're at it. And I will see you in the next one. Once I hack Survivor Hide and Seek by swimming out into the ocean. And, yep, probably drowning.
If I can't find you in the water, I can't find you in this game. Big mistake.
Not to make it about me, but I had a BM. Woo!